Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Wish Infinite. So this is sixth part of Playwright live interview quiz. So if you have joined already the previous parts, you know what would be the pattern. I would quickly explain the pattern, but before that I have already shared the link into the chats so that you can join this Slido live quiz. So like this you can join. Either you can use this QR code or the link which I have shared into the chat. So you can just provide your name and from there you can join it. Okay, I will wait for the 5 minutes and then we will proceed further with the quiz so that everyone can join. I'm starting this timer. So till then, I would be explaining what you need to do after joining it. What we would be doing, I would be showing some questions, right? And there would be different options for that. So you can give the correct answer. So people who will give right answer within less time will be there on the top of the leaderboard, right? I would be showing the leaderboard in between. So you guys join it. I'm just sharing the QR code also. So either you can use this QR code or there is a link into the chat window that you can join. So today in the previous topics, previously we have covered multiple topics. Just a second, let me show you what are all the topics which we have already covered. So previously we have covered multiple topics like introduction, installation of the playwright, basic steps to start with the playwright scripting, what are all the required options which are there into the VS Code, async await in Java in playwright, right? How you need to use, and what are page fixture, how to use the page fixture, right? Locators, different locators methods and their options. These topics already we have discussed, right? These are the locators options, and then we discussed these get by methods thing. Assertion also we have discussed in the previous video, in the previous live, but I would be adding some more questions in today's quiz to share it with you. You can answer them. And guys, you can visit my YouTube channel, and from here you can see the different links. Here you can join me onto the WhatsApp channel or onto the Telegram channel. So there you would be getting notified in advance. I post that what are all the live sessions which are going to have, or whenever I release the video, I share the link there. So you can join me there or onto any other platform if you like to join. And today I shared 5 channel membership. Lucky viewers would be getting that 5 channel membership that I've already shared. You can see it into the chat window. YouTube automatically would be selecting those 5 members, 5 viewers who will get the membership. We'll wait for 2 more minutes and then we will proceed further with the quiz. So either use this QR code or join it through the link. These 5 channel membership I have already gifted. So Tanmay has received this membership. They would be receiving they would be receiving channel membership, right? Wish Infinite channel gold membership. So they have already received. Nick has received the channel membership, and it would be for the 1 month. Tubu 93 Kostav has received the channel membership, and we have Min third 3407 who has got the channel membership. So viewers who would be interacting onto the channel or would be active onto the channel, I think they would be getting, but they would be luckily selected by the YouTube itself, and I cannot select who will get the membership. Okay, we have 30 more seconds and then we will proceed further with the quiz. Here's the link, you can check it from the chat window. Okay, so 7 people have already joined and let's proceed further with the quiz. So we have Vidha, Suresh, Daksh, Kush, Shiva, Sakshi and Priyam. Now I will start with the quiz. You guys are able to hear me properly, right? If you are having any issue, just let me know into the chat window. So here we have the first question. So what I will do, I will read out this question. You can select the correct answer. Then we will see what is the correct answer, and then I will explain it quickly. I will not go in much deep because for that I have already created the videos, right? If you want to get more specific knowledge, but I will quickly try to explain this. So which matcher verifies that the button has the specific CSS class? And here you can see and select the answer. We have 25 more seconds, guys are here. I'm not reading out the option. These are the code, right? It would be easy for you to directly see it onto the screen. 6 people have already given the answer. All the people have given. Let's see how many people have selected which option. So we have got 14% for this one. 2 have CSS, and we have 86% people who have selected option C. Let's see the correct answer first and then I will try to explain it. So the correct answer is option C, where we need to use this await expect, and here we need to pass the locator for which we want to verify the CSS class, right? And here we have this method to have class, and here we need to provide the class name which we want to validate. So for this, what we are doing, we are trying to validate that this particular locator should have this CSS class, right? So although it is not that helpful check, but if someone asks, you should be aware, right? There is this kind of method through which you can verify that a particular locator is having this specific class or not. And into the let me open the VS code. Here into the VS code, simply write, you can just mention the class. Let's say for the login button, you want to validate that it is having a specific class or not. So what you'll have to do, you need to give this await expect, there you need to pass the locator, and here after the dot you can pass this to have class. And here see, you would be able to see the description that what it would be doing, and shows the locator point to an element with the given class, right? Okay, so you can try this particular method, right, for your element, and if that element would be having this particular class, you would be able to detect it, right? And what is the class? That class would be the HTML attribute, right? Just let me quickly show that to you so that you do not have any confusion. So I'm going on to my site. Here let's say this particular element, inspect it, and here we can see that if it is having the specific class or not. Let's say this one. Okay, so this one is having this component header, so you can validate that your element is having this class or not. Okay, now let's go to the next question. Let me quickly see the leaderboard first. We have Rida on to the top, who has given answer within 37 seconds. Then we have Sakshi, Priyam, Daksh and Kush. Okay, let's go to the next question. Second question is, identify the non-retrying assertion. So you need to identify which one is the non-retrying assertion out of these 4 options. You can select your answer. So what is auto retrying assertion, non-retrying assertion? That for that I have already created one detailed video, right? And apart from that, I have already explained it into my previous live video also, that what is auto retrying assertion and non-retrying assertion, right? So this question is related to that topic. If you have watched my video related to the assertions, you must be aware about it. Or if you have any doubts, or if you have not watched the video, you can go to my channel and search this assertion related video into the playwright playlist. So we have 5 more seconds. There's a gap. Okay. So 14% people have selected option A, 29% have selected option B, and 57% people have selected option C. Let's reveal the correct answer. So the correct answer is option C, which is expect value dot to be 10. So if you have noticed, all these options which we were having, here we were trying to validate that expect. Under the expect method we have provided the locator, right? But here we have provided the value. It is a constant value which we are trying to, let's say we are trying to validate this particular variable should be 20. So that this would be non-retrying assertion, right? Here we are not trying to check, let's say if it is not locator, so for the locator the value can be changed quickly, right? Or it can be visible after some time, but for the value there is not going to be such case, right? Even if you are fetching the value from any locator and then putting it here, it will not retry. But if you will provide the locator and then provide the related method to it, then it would be the auto retrying assertion. But here it is not going to retry, and the playwright team is also recommending to use the auto retry assertion and not the non-retrying assertion, right? And apart from that, there are multiple assertions which are auto retrying or non-retrying. You can go to the go to this document. Here I have given some of the options, right? These are the auto retrying assertions, and these are the non-retrying assertions. And for the non-retrying assertion, you will not have to provide that await keyword, right? Because these to be less than, or whatever the methods which are there related to the non-retrying will not return the promise. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. So which assertion will fail test immediately on failure? And here are all the options: soft assertions, auto retrying assertion, hard assertion, and negative matchup. You can select the correct answer. We have 50 seconds. Guys, if you are still having doubt any related to these questions, just let me know into the chat. I should be able to clear those doubts. Now we have 100% vote for option C, which is hard assertion, which will fail the test immediately on failure, right? And let's reveal the correct answer. That is the correct answer, right? Hard assertion. Apart from that, we have soft assertion also, which will not fail the test immediately, right? It will execute the whole test even if that particular assertion is getting failed. But in case of hard assertion, if you have provided the hard assertion at any place, it will, at that particular instance, if that particular assertion is failed, it will fail the test and it will come out of the test, right? Previously also I have I think explained this. See, if you want to use the soft assertion, you will have to provide this expect dot soft and then particular locator or value which you want to validate. But these are hard assertions. If they are failing, you would be coming out of the test, right? It will not do the further execution. So if you have any scenario where you don't want to fail the test, right, even if the failure is there, so in that case you can put the soft assertion. Otherwise you can stick to the hard assertion. As soon as it is getting failed, you don't want to move further, because let's say you want to enter username, password, and then you want to click onto the login button, and then the login page should be appearing, and then you want to test something, right? But on clicking onto the login button, your login is itself is not successful. Here you have put the assertion that page should open, but if it is getting failed, there is no point of putting the soft assertion there, because if the test will move further also, it will not be able to find the locators, right? So at that point you'll have to give the, you should give the hard assertion in such case. Now let's reveal the leaderboard quickly. We have Shiva on to the top with all the correct answer. Then we have Sakshi, Kush, Suresh, and Vridha. Now let's go to the next question. Here's the next question. Which behavior describe auto retrying assertions best? And here are all the options. Option A, they retry until timeout or pass. They run only once. Option C is they increase test duration by default, and option D is they require manual reads. So for auto retrying assertion, which one would be the valid scenario, right? Which describes the auto retrying assertion? Try to select. We have 30 seconds left. Guys, I think all the people have already given the answer. And the correct answer we will discuss. So 86% people have selected this option A, and 14% have selected option B. Let me reveal the correct answer. So option A is the correct answer. They retry until timeout or passes. So we are talking about auto retrying assertion. So it will retry until timeout happens or it passes, right? If it is getting failed, it will keep retrying until that particular point, right? Until the timeout. So you need not to provide the more weight, right, for these auto retrying assertions, because automatically it is going to retry. But let's say you know that your site is quite slow and it takes time to load. I'm just giving an example. So in that case, you can try increasing the assertion timeout, right? Which you can do with the help of playwright.config.ts file. Here you can provide the this time duration, that how long this timeout should be happening, right? For now, I think it is 5 seconds, but you can increase it to 10 seconds, 15 seconds as per your site and the requirement. This is the theoretical question. There is nothing much to show onto the code, right? If you want to look at the theory, you can go to this document, or for more details, you can go to the playwright documentation, right, onto their official website. Now let's reveal the next question. So which assertion checks the current URL exactly? This is a VisionFit site, right? Here you can give any site, google.com or visionfinite.com, right? This is my website, visionfinite.com, which you can also use for the testing purpose. You can go to this playground. Okay, so here are all the 4 options. You can select the correct answer from here. We have 30 seconds left. And guys, if you are still having any doubt related to these questions, just let me know. We can discuss it. Okay, so 5 out of 7 people have given the answer. So 40% people have selected this to have value, and 60% people have selected to have URL. And let me reveal the correct answer. And option B is the correct answer. To have URL is the method. Inside it, you can provide the URL. So what we are doing here, so we are trying to expect the page, whatever the page which we have opened, should route onto this particular URL, right? So how we can do so? Let me just open the VS Code. Let's say we are going onto this site. Okay. After going onto this site, we want to validate that it is not going to reroute to some other site, right? It should navigate to this sourcedemo.com or wishinfinite.com, right? So in that case, we can put such kind of assertion where we would be validating the URL that expect. Here we will just there we would be just providing the page, right, and not the locator. And the method would be to have URL, right? And just a second, let me pass that method so you will be having an idea. So what you need to do, await expect page, and here you need to provide to have URL. This is the method, right? Here you can provide any method or any URL, right? Here we have provided the what call regular expression, right? But you can provide the exact URL also. And see here you would be able to see the more details that ensure the page is navigated to the given URL only and not to some other URL. That can be the valid case, right? Let's say you are hitting one URL and somehow you are navigating, let's say you are hitting google.com, but somehow you are navigating to some other site, right? This so in that case, or let's say you are hitting the sourcedemo.com, but you are hitting to some unknown website, rerouting to some unknown website. So in that case, this assertion will help us, right? It will fail the test if it is not the same URL. Okay, now let's reveal the leaderboard. We have reached half of the quiz. So we have Shiva on the top with 5 correct answers, then Suresh, Sakshi, Priyam, and Kush. Now let's go to the next question. What is the purpose of playwright.config.ts file? So now the questions are going to be there related to this playwright configuration, where we have created one video related to this, that what are all the different playwright configurations which you can do inside this playwright.config.ts file. Here are all the options. Option A, to write the playwright test script. Option B, to store environment variable only. Option C, to configure how playwright tests are executed. And option D is to install playwright dependencies. You need to select the correct answer, that what is the purpose of this playwright.config.ts file. About this I have already created one video. So for that you can go to my this playlist where all the videos related to the playwright are there, and here you can see this playwright configuration file explained, right? This video, by watching this video you would be able to get more in-depth knowledge related to this topic, right? Now let's go back to our quiz. So 100% people have selected to configure how playwright tests are executed. And now let me reveal the correct answer, and this is the correct answer itself. It is used, this playwright.config.ts file is used to configure how playwright tests are executed, right? Here you can give different configurations. We will see some more questions related to this only. Okay, and where is that playwright.config.ts file? It would be there into your project like this. This is the playwright.config.ts file. You can do different configurations here inside this particular file. When you install the playwright, at that time this particular file will get auto generated, right? If you are using this playwright extension or directly through the command, so it will give you this particular file auto created. If you want to create it manually also, that you can do, but automatically you are going to get this particular boilerplate with some of the properties which should be there, right? Now let's go to the next question. What does the test dir option define? So this one is related to the playwright.config.ts file. What this test dir option will do, right? It defines directory where the playwright is installed. Option B, directory where the reports are generated. Option C, directory containing test files, or it defines directory containing screenshots. You can try to select the correct answer. You have 30 more seconds left. So we have got all the answers. 100% people have selected directory containing test files. And now let me reveal the correct answer. This is the correct answer. So test dir option inside the playwright.config.ts file defines that which directory contains the test files, right? So here onto the VS Code, as you can see, this is the playwright.config.ts file, which you will see directly inside the playwright project folder, right? So here, this is the structure, right? We import the define config from the playwright test, right? Here you can export default and define config, and inside it there would be different options. So the first argument which is there for this define config is not first, you can provide it at any position, right? Here we have this test dir, and here we can mention the directory, right? That from which directory or inside which directory your tests are there, right? Usually if you will install the playwright, you will get the directory like this, dot forward slash and then tests, which is this particular folder where you usually keep all your playwright test scripts. For now I have changed this directory like this dot forward slash, because I wanted to include these archive tests also, which I usually move the tests after creating the video into the archive folder, so that if I want to run them through this playwright extension also, so there we should be able to install it, right? See, for now I think extension is already installed for me. See, I am seeing the tests or the different folder here, and each folder would be containing our playwright test script file, right? If you give tests here, okay, so now here automatically see, you would be able to see the change and see only the tests folder. So inside the tests folder only 2 test script files are there, so it will show those 2 files. And now apart from this extension also, if you will directly execute it, npx run playwright, right? So to execute the playwright test scripts, so in that case also it will just execute from the specific directories. If it's tests, it will just pick the tests from that particular directory, right? And for now let me keep it directly dot forward slash, so that it will read all the files, right? But usually you need to give it like this dot forward slash test. So inside tests also, if you create multiple folders and inside it your files are there, so automatically it will read all the files inside each folder, right? You can try changing this option, right? Okay, now let's go back to our Slido and let's reveal the leaderboard. So we have Shiva on to the top with all the correct answers. Then we have Suresh with 6 correct answers. Then Sakshi, Priyam and Rida. Okay, now let's go to the next question, which is 8th question. What happens when fully parallel true is enabled? So it tests run sequentially. Option B is tests inside a file run sequentially. Option C is all tests run in parallel, including within a file, right? And option D is only projects run in parallel. So when this particular fully parallel option is true, which would be the true, right? Which of these options would be the true? So usually first try to give the answer, then I will explain it. And guys, if you are having any doubt, I'm again repeating, just send me the question, so I should be able to clear it. Okay, so we have got our answers, and 14% people have selected run test runs sequentially, and 86% people have selected all tests run in parallel, including within a file. And let me reveal the correct answer. So option C is the correct answer. All tests run in parallel, including within a file. So here into this playwright.config.ts file, we have this option, right? This is the key, and its value we can change to either false or true. So if it is true, so it is going to run all the tests parallelly, right? It will not run the test one by one. And usually that's why in many videos I have told that try to make your tests independent of each other, right? So that they are not dependent. So even if we want to run them parallelly, so there would not be any issue, right? But if you provide if you create your tests in such a way that one of your test is dependent onto the previous and that one is dependent onto the previous, so in that case this parallel execution you would not be able to do, right? With this fully parallel we can also provide the workers, that how many workers you want to run parallel, right? So for now here we have selected CI. For the CI it should be 1 and for local also it should be 1, but you can change it to 3, so parallelly it would be able to execute 3 tests, right? Because 3 workers would be working on that. So both of these options are interrelated fully parallel and how many workers you want to run parallel. Okay, now let's go to our second last question. What is the purpose of forward only true? This is the key, and 2 would be the value. Option A is prevent retries, prevents running only one test accidentally, disable parallel execution, and skip leaky tests. You can try to select the correct answer. So whenever we provide this forward only true, what it will do, and I will just give a hint, it is related to that only which we provide, right? Test dot only, so it is related to that. We have 10 more seconds. We have got all the answers. So 100% people have selected prevent running only one test accidentally. So I will explain the scenario what will happen here. So let's say this is our test. For now here one test is only there. Let me create one more test. Okay, so let's say this is one test. Okay, and here I have created this only, right? So I have put the only so that whenever I give the execution to the CLI command, right? So it will just run this particular test. It will not run any other test into any other file. It will just run the test from this particular file where the only is provided. So now let's say during your development you have put this only, but by mistake you pushed this code onto the Git repository where your continuous integration CI/CD pipeline is there, right? And there if you have provided only, right, and if you have committed it got merged also, so what it will do, it will execute this particular test, and if it is getting passed, your pipeline will get passed also. And let's say your pipeline is getting passed, you are not worried, right? If it is getting failed, usually that at that point you are worried that why tests are getting failed. But as you have just pushed this with the only keyword, so your pipeline is getting passed automatically with this one test, right? So this is the issue, right? You would not be able to identify the actual failure because for you only one test is getting executed and you are not aware about it because by mistake you have pushed this with the only keyword. So in such cases what you need to do, you need to provide that forward only :true, which is this one, right? If that would be true, so in that case whenever by mistake if you are pushing that only keyword test dot only, so it will fail your build itself, right? It will not execute your test. So at least you will get to know that you have pushed this only keyword, right? So like this you can check and try to keep this forward only true. Usually this is very helpful in case of CI, so that's why we have provided this process.env.ci. In case of continuous integration it should be true, right? And apart from that, if you are doing it on locally, so you need it as the false because you want to execute just one keyword, right? One particular test. That's why you have provided that only. So just for the CI I would suggest mark it as the true, but for the local keep it as the false. So you can directly provide it like this. If it is the CI, then forward only should be true, right? Now let me go to the next question, and that would be the last. Before that, let's see the leaderboard. So we have still Shiva on to the top with all the correct answers, and then we have Sakshi, Priyam, Suresh, and Ridha. And now let's go to the last question, which is what does the retry option control? And here are all the options. A, number of parallel workers, number of times a test retries on failure. Option C is timeout duration, and option D is browser retry behavior. You can select the correct answer. Timer has started. So now related to this playwright.config.ts file, we have seen only 5 questions, but into the next quiz we would be seeing more questions related to the same topic. So if you have not watched that particular video which I have shown you here into the playlist, I will suggest to watch this video, because into the next quiz we would be seeing the videos, seeing the questions related to this topic only. And we have got all the options selected. All the people have given the answer, which is option B, number of times a test retries on failure. Let me reveal the correct answer, and this is the correct answer, right? Number of times test retry onto the failure. And where it would be, you need to go to your playwright.config.ts file, and here you would be having this retries option, right? Here you can give any number, right, for which you want to retry. Let's say you have some test or some tests which are getting failed, right? So you want to re-execute. Why you want to re-execute? Because there can be the case your site is slow, your environment is not stable, right? So in that case, usually we want to retry the tests, and I usually keep this retry option more than 1 or 2 for the CI. So in case of CI, usually we do not see the execution, right? And there we want, let's say if particular test is getting failed, so we just want to retry it, so that if it is getting failed because of any environment related issue, site slowness, right? So in that case we want it to get passed, right? And if it is the genuine failure, after one more retry also it will be getting failed. So that's why we have provided the option like this, process.env.ci. So in case of CI, if this is the CI, right, if the execution is happening onto the CI, we want to retry one. Retry one means after the failure it will retry one more time. And in case of local, if it is not CI, so in that case we want to keep it 0. So we are running test locally, within the one go if it is not passing, we want to get it failed. Usually we will run the tests locally when we are doing the development, right, test script creation. And now let's go to the Slido. Let's reveal the leaderboard. So we have Shiba, who has won this particular quiz with all the correct answers, and we have Sakshi, Priyam, Suresh, and Ridha, right? And it is showing that this is the hardest question, that identify the non-theta in the system. Only 57% people have given the correct answer for that. Okay, so guys, like this, we would be doing one more after this. Next week onto the Saturday, I would be doing one more live session where we would be discussing more questions related to the playwright configuration, right, which is playwright.config.ts file. So if you have not watched that video, you watch that video before the next quiz, and then you should be able to give the better answer, right? Here I have explained the topics or each option in more details. Here we are just discussing it, but there I've shown you practically also, right? So you can watch this video, and if you have not watched this playlist, you can go to my channel, and there you will be able to see this playlist, and you can watch all the videos one by one. Here I have covered each and every topic related to the playwright, and still I am covering more topics, right? Sometimes I add the videos here, so you will be able to see. So subscribe to my channel, right, and hit the bell icon so that you can get notified, right, whenever I'm creating any new video and adding it to my channel, right? Here all the videos related to the MCP server is also there. Quiz also there. Framework I have created, which is also there, so you can go and watch such videos, right, to get in-depth knowledge, which will help you to prepare for interview. If you know about each and every topic, so you need not to remember the question, right, because you are already aware about that topic. At any point interviewer ask any question, you should be able to answer it, right? So, and if you want I should create any other topic related to this playwright, just let me know into the comments. Okay, and I should be able to answer it. And leave your comment into the comment section for any of the video. Usually I reply to each and every comment, right, which I get. Okay, so guys, that's it from my end. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Have a great day.